Hi guys, Kaiser here. The Summer Game Fest is officially over, and I'm here to answer the question, what did we actually learn about Civilization 7 today? The answer is surprisingly little, maybe less than many of us expected going into the show, but also more than maybe we at first realized. I'll explain what I mean in a second, but first, let's talk about the basic facts. What we were shown at the show today was a teaser trailer for Civilization 7. And this is pretty much what I expected earlier. This was a pre-rendered cutscene that just is showcasing the theme of Civilization, those pillars that make up the Civilization experience, right? It highlighted the joy and the glory of culture and science, trade and exploration, conquest and glory, right? If you've ever played any Civilization game, this was sort of a welcome back and look forward to the next iteration of this core Civ experience. We got a teaser trailer, and I think that teaser trailer maybe gives us some insights into the tone of the game, which I'll talk about in a second. But the only other detail that we can for sure take from this trailer is at the very end, where it gave us some dates. Civilization 6 will not be coming out until sometime in 2025. I've got to admit, that was a little bit of a surprise to me when I made my previous video and I was getting, excited for Civ 7. I was thinking this would be late 2024. I was thinking something like November, in time for the holidays. But instead, sometime in 2025, the game will be coming out. We also got some information, and let me pull this up a little bit so you can see it. We're going to be getting a gameplay showcase in August, and I would assume that this is the time where we will actually see the game in action for the first time. We'll get screenshots and footage and maybe some insight into what the game will look like and what sort of civilizations and leaders will be coming into Civilization 7. All of that coming down the pike. And that's pretty much it from the teaser trailer as far as basic facts. Anything else is going to be sort of hearsay and conjecture and sort of trying to read between the lines, right? And when it comes to a Civilization hype trailer, I think it can be a very dangerous thing to try to read too much into what you're seeing on screen and gather, these features must be in the next iteration of Civ, or this must be the next leader. For example, with the Civilization 6 launch trailer, there's a scene where Sean Bean's character is riding on a Polish wing hussar. And you're thinking, oh, well, that must mean that the Poles are in the game, right? Well, no, actually, they weren't in the game when this trailer came out. They were released at a later time as part of an expansion onto Civ 6, right? An add-on. So, I would be very hesitant to try to read too much into the trailer, which, by the way, I forgot to mention, I'll have linked in the description below. You just click on that and you can watch the trailer for yourself. Come back and you can go through my kind of thoughts with me. So I'd be very hesitant to try to read too much, but I think that there are a few things that we can gather. First of all, just take a look at the general tone of the Civilization 7 trailer, right? I thought it was beautiful. I also thought it was a little bit more, I don't want to say mature. See, I'm one of those guys, and I think I'm in the minority, where I actually enjoyed the Civilization 5 presentation a little bit more than the Civ 6 presentation. I thought the aesthetics of Civ 6 it was so stylistic, it almost leaned a little too far into the cartoony or the goofy. And I think that Civ 7 maybe is taking a swing back toward the way that Civilization 5 looked. I mean, I compared the Civ 6 announcement trailer and launch trailer with the Civilization 7 teaser trailer here, and again, I don't want to read too much into it. We haven't actually seen gameplay footage or in-game graphics yet, but the vibe that I'm getting out of the trailer is maybe we're getting something a little bit closer to Civ 5 from an aesthetics point of view, which I find very exciting. On top of that, we do see a couple of screens. For the most part, I think that the trailer is just generically about culture and trade and war and that kind of thing. But there are a couple of hints that I think we can get out of the game here. And the first one that we see is this scene right here where we see a woman in an Egyptian headdress holding a scroll. There's a chance that this could just be sort of a generic presentation of Egyptian culture, right? But I think that there's a very decent chance that this is, in fact, a sign that A, Egypt is going to be in the game, which is not much of a surprise. I think Egypt's always been in Civilization at launch. And then B, that this is probably the leader for Egypt. So I doubt it's going to be Ramses or Saladin or anything like that, right? We're going to get this pharaoh queen. I know many of you are immediately thinking Cleopatra coming back from Civilization 6, but I think there's also a good chance that this could be Nefertiti or it could be Hatshepsut. In fact, I saw a pretty good argument that it might in fact be Nefertiti. So not sure who of the three it'll be, but I would wager it's going to be one of those three leading Egypt in Civilization 7. Another scene out of the trailer that I thought was particularly impactful was a scene of a battle between this steppe army, this nomadic army, and another force fighting on a wall, which to me seems rather obvious that it's a battle between the Mongols and the Chinese at the Great Wall of China, right? That nomadic army is dressed up in the garb of the Mongolians, and then the other army has, gunpowder going off, right? So it's probably the Mongols and the Chinese fighting, and I think this guy here on the left, very likely to be Genghis Khan. He, of course, was the Mongolian leader who did conquer China, right? And then following him, Kublai Khan, they established a whole new dynasty, and so I think Mongolia is probably in the game, and probably being led by Genghis Khan once again. But again, no guarantees about that. I go back to my previous Polish Winged Hussar example, right? Assuming, though, I think there's a decent chance, though, that we do see Genghis Khan in the game as a result of this trailer. As for the other guy, do I have that screenshot in here? I don't. The guy on the right here, I could not identify. I didn't really catch anything that would tell me he was anyone in particular. I think he just represents the Chinese opposition to Genghis Khan attacking the wall, right? I could be wrong. Someone in the comments could say, hey, no, this is clearly, General so-and-so, right? But I didn't catch anything, right? One other scene that I do actually want to highlight, again, over the course of the trailer, you're spotlighting trade and culture and things. It ends with this shot of the rocket going up into space. And I actually do think this is a very important part of the trailer. I have said earlier, I hope that Civilization, the Civ 7, takes a serious, long, hard look at the win conditions and transforms them, updates them, makes them more of an active, engaging back and forth, and that it's not just going to be filling in the buckets. Well, I think that this slide indicates, at least thematically, that the science victory is still here, and it's going to work the same way. The first person to launch a rocket I guess not to the moon anymore, but you can launch a rocket to the next galaxy over, the next habitable planet, or whatever. It's the same win condition for science as it always has been. You launch a rocket and you win the game. Again, I could be reading into it, but seeing as this is sort of the final shot of the trailer, that would not surprise me that that's kind of a penultimate scientific achievement in Civilization, is getting that rocket into space, right? So take that what you will. I think that's all that we kind of get out of the trailer itself. Now, having said that, though, there's some intrepid figures who had discovered something very interesting that I also want to add into this video. For a brief period of time, when you went onto the Civilization website and you put in a bad link, you got this picture right here. 404 disaster. And, it's like we can't find the page, right? In the background, we notice something that looks very much like a Civilization game, but we can't identify these graphics at all. Right? This isn't Civ 6. It's not Civ 5. There's a decent chance we're actually looking at a screenshot of Civilization 7, which is really cool, and I think, assuming it is Civ 7, backs up my earlier theory about the trailer that this is indicating a more, I don't say gritty, but it's like a more realistic, if you will, as opposed to stylized take from Civ 6, a more realistic map here right? So we see, it looks like the Colosseum in the background. Looks like maybe possibly a quarry or something like that. Here, just different features that fit very much into that hexagonal grid. And in fact, I do have another shot here I want to give credit where it's due. Let me turn off my camera here for a second. Click, click. Right. Antsu at the Civ Fanatics forum was sharing, he kind of shared the screen where you can see, it fits into that hexagonal grid, and indicates there's a decent chance this is a Civ 7 screenshot. It makes me pretty excited. You see the detail in the trees. You have different kinds of trees. The buildings, it just has a more, to my eyes anyway, a more realistically vibrant approach. And it looks like the perfect merger of Civ 6 and Civ 7. So I think that's pretty much it. I think that's everything we got today. I think we got a sense of the tone of the game. The music was beautiful in the trailer. I'm hyped. I'm a little disappointed that's not coming out until 2025, but that means that there's going to be plenty of reveals coming down the line starting in August as we get to explore Civilization 7 together. So what do you guys think? I want you to let me know in the comments below. If you want more Civilization 7 news, consider subscribing to Iron Kaiser Gaming. And again, I have a poll going on in my Discord right now where I'm asking my closest followers, do you guys want to see Iron Kaiser Gaming take on Civilization 7 as one of the main games of the channel? If so, if you want to vote on that, gotta join the Discord and let me know there. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys, those in the Discord, those who subscribe and like, and just watching this video. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you're as excited for Civ 7 as I am. For now, this is the Iron Kaiser, signing off. Have a great one out there.